So for the past couple of months, I've been having Tyler over at HeroHQProps work on a very special project for me, my very first diorama. Dioramas are something that I think add a ton of personality to your setup when it comes to toy photography, when it comes to having your figures on display in general, and so that's why I've always wanted to have one of my own, and that moment has finally arrived. So we're going to be talking about it all here on The Geek Effect. When it came to this project, I was expecting to have a diorama that I could start things off with, and if I wanted to build with it gradually by having additional props and stuff to add more detail, I could always do that at a later point in time. But Tyler is the type of person that always goes above and beyond, so when it came to this project, not only did he make a diorama for me, but he also included additional props, and he even included a very special surprise, which I'll touch on later in the video. And with this whole package that I got, this kind of is a nice sort of starter kit more than just, a simple diorama and then that's it. So I do like what Tyler was able to accomplish with this project. Starting things off though, we do have three major parts that this diorama consists of. We have the side wall right here, which has a door and a window, and you can see all the brickwork and everything like that, along with some other details, and you can see kind of where this thing is going to sort of attach. It does use magnets to get all the pieces to interlock, which is nice, especially if you want to store this away for a later point in time and just, not take up too much space in your collection or something like that. Then we also have the back wall right here, which this one kind of takes up a lot of the camera shot, so you guys won't see my face, but you can just see all the detail. Hopefully it is getting in view of the camera, and pretty much all the same brickwork and everything that we saw on the side wall, with more of the other bits of detail down there, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then the last piece that we also have for it is the groundwork, which this is definitely one of my favorite parts because it just looks so detailed and so lifelike. Like the realistic look of this detail is just outstanding, and I think that he really did nail it with what I was looking to see for this diorama. The concept for me was definitely wanting to have some sort of grimy, gritty sort of alleyway look, and I think that he definitely nailed that look. Assembling the diorama is also very simple because it does make use of magnets, which you'll see are embedded in the material. You have one right there, you have one there, and also one there. And with the magnets being embedded in each of the pieces, you can simply just interlock them together, and they hold together pretty well, which is also good. But once you see the full picture of how this diorama is meant to look, it's absolutely stunning, and I'm just really impressed with the level of detail that Tyler was able to include in this piece. In my opinion, Tyler has a very good eye when it comes to attention to detail, and that can be seen throughout the entirety of this diorama, because when you look at things like the sidewall, for instance, you'll see a nice color variation when it comes to things like the brick, the door, and even the cement part that's underneath that brick. And it looks very nice, it has a natural and realistic tone to it, especially looking at the brick. You can see, darker and lighter shades mixed together, and it looks very realistic. You'll even see things like dirt plastered on the door, on the sign, which does add that realism to it and creates that gritty and grimy look that I was looking for when it came to designing this diorama. Looking at the window too, you'll see even more detail and, layers of that there when it comes to the black framing there. It has a nice texture to it as well, and you'll even see that there's like this plastic sort of material used for the glass, and I think that that's nice. So definitely shows that he wanted to go all out in regards to making this thing feel as realistic and as high quality as possible. When it comes to any other sort of texture and other painted details and stuff that are involved in this model, there's a lot there, especially when you look at the back wall section, which I thought was very nice. Looking at the gate, you can see a nice bit of ridges and stuff there to create that added bit of texture, and the paint detail there is nice too because it has a very rusted sort of look to it. You can see the yellowish and sort of brown or reddish sort of color there that adds that rustic sort of look. Even some of that at the top part where you would roll the gate into that section, and I thought that that came out pretty nice. There's even some nice texture there with the lines carved in there as well, and I thought that that looked pretty well too, especially seeing it in person for the first time. But hands down, my favorite aspect of this gate has got to be this very obvious mural that's here, and the reason why is because Tyler wanted to kind of see what I wanted in this graffiti sort of aspect of the gate that kind of felt personal to me, like if I had any suggestions. And at first I was thinking something simple that could have been incorporated with like other text on there, like for example, AHA and like the name of that group, because they're one of my favorite groups. And I thought that maybe we could just do like the font style that they use on their album covers. But then he wanted to take it an extra mile further and do something that I thought of, but didn't want to kind of put too much of a hassle on him. And that was to create an actual mural of the group members. And I thought that that was awesome. He did a wonderful job with them. Like the likeness is like very spot on. And I think that it turned out very well, especially seeing it in person for the first time and everything like that. It looked great. And so if you guys are looking for Tyler to do something like that with your diorama, I definitely would recommend him to be able to get that done because he does a great job with that. When it comes to any other sort of Easter eggs or personal touches in this model, he actually included another one that I suggested, but I kind of thought he was going to leave it out because I thought it may have been a bit too much to put in the model, so kind of just pick one. But he still included it there, and it's on the door when you look back at that, and it's the flower from the Depeche Mode Violator album, which has one of my favorite songs, Enjoy the Silence. And I almost missed this until I was unboxing it live on stream, and he was like, take a look back at the door, the flower is there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, wow, the fact that he still managed to include this in here and try to make this as personal as possible was truly amazing. And so I do appreciate Tyler for doing that and making sure to include both of those things that I was looking to see here. One of my favorite aspects of working on this model with Tyler was that he likes to check in a lot to see, you know, what are some things that I would like to add, for instance, the mural, but also he gives status reports on like how the product is coming along and allowing me to kind of see the behind the scenes process of it, which was pretty awesome. But in certain parts like that, I was able to, you know, have some other stuff added too. Like he picked up some grass recently and then he suggested that maybe we could put this in the model. And I thought that that would be nice because it would add an extra bit of detail to this whole display once it was assembled. So parts of it are in the grass, parts of it are along the side wall, the back wall, and I definitely think that that adds an extra level of detail to this piece. Plus, when you look at the groundwork, you'll see, you know, these parts of like dirt or like rust along the edges, which I thought was pretty nice. Like I'm kind of just noticing it as I'm recording this video. I didn't notice it when I was doing the live stream, but it looks very awesome and it looks very realistic too, especially when it comes to the texture. And then looking at the groundwork once again as a whole, like you can see all of that color variation there, all the, you know, cracks and crevices in that groundwork that just have this very beat up and, you know, worn down sort of look. And I just think that this is probably going to be one of my favorite pieces along with that gate piece that's on this diorama. As I mentioned earlier, Tyler also included a bunch of extra pieces to go with this dio, which was very nice of him, and I didn't expect it whatsoever, but this is kind of like a starter pack for me to use with this diorama, and then I can always add on to it, which is going to be a lot of fun. So starting things off, we do have two of these wooden pallets, which turned out pretty well. They're handmade, and these are going to be fun to have them propped up in, you know, the dio, whether it be in a corner or just anywhere in it for that matter. Have stuff on top of it, whether it be crates or, you know, weapons and stuff like that. Have some heroes, you know, there, maybe like Spider-Man perched on top of it, getting ready to attack, you know, some burglars and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun to mess around with these. He also included a bunch of papers and stuff that have all sorts of advertisements on them. So we have stuff for like the Daily Bugle, New York Bulletin, some wanted ads for like the Punisher, a wrestling ad for Crusher Hogan, which is pretty neat. Here's an advertisement for the band The Mary Janes, which is neat. And you even have another reference to some 80s music, which I absolutely love this because we have the magazine covers for the smash hits with AHA. And then on the back of that, we have the Rolling Stones cover for Duran Duran, which was a nice touch. And there's two of them, and there's actually multiple of each of these types of advertisements, which is nice. So I can just have them all in a sort of array, whether it be on the ground or on the wall. And it's also good in case I, you know, potentially lose one of them. So I'll always have a backup, which is nice. As I mentioned earlier, Tyler did say that he included a very special surprise with this project, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but when I saw it for the first time, I was absolutely amazed. What Tyler did was he created a custom minifigure of me for the Geek effect, and I thought that this was such a nice touch to see when I unboxed that package. Like, I wasn't expecting it whatsoever, but looking at it now, once again, it just really brings a smile to my face, and I'm glad that he wanted to do something like this, so thank you so much, Tyler. It looks very nice too. You can see the Geek effect logo on the front of the torso, and I had this like mini statue there, which I'm pretty sure is representing like an action figure, so that's a nice touch. And I think that this definitely does capture my, you know, excitement and stuff very well. So I like this so much. I'm definitely going to keep this in a safe spot. I have a display case that I may mention of during the stream when I unbox this that I'm going to keep this in. But this is awesome. In the end, I'm really happy with how this diorama turned out, and I think that Tyler did a phenomenal job capturing the detail that I was looking to see with a diorama, especially one that's going to be my first this is going to carry me for quite some time when it comes to using it for toy photography, for videos, and all that stuff. And I think that he did a great job with this. If you guys are looking to have your own custom diorama made for yourself, be sure to check him out over on Instagram, give him a follow, go send him a message because he is accepting commissions at the moment. And he also has some pre-made dioramas made over on Etsy, like a Sentinel head, some props as well, like custom webbing for Spider-Man Legends figures. I actually did a review on that a while ago, so if you guys want to check that out, be sure to do that. And, you know, maybe pick yourself up some webs for your Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures along with a dio. And just, you know, show him some love and support because he definitely does deserve it. And he does a lot of good stuff when it comes to custom projects. Everything that was included with this diorama and just the whole process in general is definitely going to be very memorable for me. Just, you know, seeing it come to life and actually seeing it in person for the first time, everything that was included, like that, you know, special surprise with the custom Geek Effect minifigure, like that was awesome to see that for the first time. And I definitely was not expecting that. So thank you once again to Tyler for just going the extra mile with this project and just wanting to put as much passion into it as possible. And I do wish you the best on any of your future, you know, dio endeavors and just also other custom projects that you're working on because you definitely are super talented when it comes to this. If you guys enjoyed this review though, be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to it. I will be posting more reviews in the future along with some other products that I have planned for the end of the year, which I'm very excited about that. So stay tuned for that. With that being said though, I hope you all have an amazing day and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.